you bullish on India and particularly in Andhra Pradesh?
Andhra Pradesh is a rich state. It's a very rich one, and it's right in the middle of India. So very strategically placed to all the other airports all round about. Daily flights to all the main airports in India. It's got a very good port, and we see it as very much underdeveloped, with tremendous natural wealth, agricultural and mineral wealth, and in particular, very old city. It used to have the richest man in the world here, and that can't have been by chance. And we can identify an opportunity in Hyderabad which doesn't exist in Bombay or Delhi, or even Calcutta for that matter, because they're largely fully developed. And Andhra Pradesh, or Hyderabad, the capital, we think is ready for some sort of limited development, which is agreeable to the city. And we don't want to do anything that's disagreeable, obviously, and we're not those sort of people. Something that will, a nice business development enclave, or whatever you like to call it, and it'll put Hyderabad on the international map, and it'll take overspill certainly from Bombay and possibly even Delhi as well. I don't know.
Are you doing this for the first time in India, or has anybody done this before?
Well, in Duncan McNeill, no, but we've been here since 1839. But we've been growing tea mainly, but I mean, managing tea estates is real estate in a funny sort of a way. So we aren't going into something completely different that we don't know about. That's the senior people, but we've got a lot of expertise lower down, and they've been hired in. First-class town planners and people like that, and so we are taking a very professional approach to it, not an amateur one, because that wouldn't work.
Tell me something about the concept and how you're planning to get investment into it.
The plan is now to attract, in the main, foreign investment by way of FIIs, global deposit receipts, and private placements. I mean, there is definitely money available, abroad to go into these sort of things if you can, get a good building and a good project, and we're going to go abroad and sell it to, fast expanding Asia, where the per capita GDP is going up even faster than the population explosion, and there's going to be a lot of disposable income, and in years to come, and it's the fastest growing part of the world, apart from possibly South America. I'm not sure about that. People are getting very excited now about South America, but India, China and South America, or India as part of Asia and China as well, seem to be the... Europe is very quiet at the moment, and probably fully developed, so is America and Canada, but India we see tremendous opportunities, and Andhra Pradesh as yet seems to be, compared with other states, reasonably untapped.
Okay, would you like to talk about how it's going to foster Indo-British trade? What the kind of setup that...
That is, that would be, a large amount of that would be indirect, depending on who we got to come into the business enclaves and international economic enclaves as well. It would depend who came in. It may be Japanese, or it may be Germans, it may be Taiwanese, Singaporeans or whatever, and if that happened, it wouldn't be all that much. But if we could get British firms to come and manufacture out here at lower cost, there could be quite a lot of cross-fertilisation of trade with Britain. But there may be, we could possibly use British project managers. British companies might supply some of the goods that are used in the infrastructure, power generation equipment or something, if it was keenly priced, and obviously we'd have to stand those tests. And it might be possible to, get some kind of British aid if we played our cards correctly, because there's a lot of good feeling between Britain and India at the moment, and definitely at high levels, and we are, we speak the same language, and we have similar, similar affinities and views on life, and it's not like doing business with China where you were going into a jungle, but well, jungle's the wrong word, but it's just complete. I've been there 7 times. It's just totally different country. But India, there's a lot. You feel at home here and can do business, and so I think there is good scope.
What is the kind of sell that you will be, making in Far East or wherever you're planning?
Well, we'll be getting people to try and come over here and manufacture in Andhra Pradesh, in Vizag, in the industrial area.
So apart from doing the infrastructure, the building of it, you're also going to market it.
Yes, yes, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So that's
market it and attract foreign investors to come in and set up shop. But that includes, not only includes banks, financial services, which is the most exciting part of India at the moment, is the financial services side.
What is the kind of help that you're getting from the Andhra Pradesh government?
Well, they're giving us the land. They're not giving us the land, but they're providing the land, and we buy it, and we buy half of it with equity and half of it with cash. And the cash that we're giving over, they've agreed to put back into the utility system, so it'll come back in. It won't go somewhere else. It'll come back into what we're going to be developing, and so that's very helpful, extremely helpful. They're really effectively giving us land to set up shop on, and cooperating, and they're going to be deeply involved with us, and we're going to work hand in hand together and keep them informed on what we're doing, and go and see them regularly, and hope for their help with all the sort of planning permissions and everything else that you will need, bureaucracy to go through, and we hope to stay on side with them and please them.
What is the deadline that you've given yourself?
Well, it's a mega project, and one's talking of 3 years minimum to get something really going in Hyderabad, and I would say 5 years in Vizag, I would say, because it's being realistic. And that's as long as there's not a vast downturn, economic world downturn in the meantime. Because if there was, then it would go back 2 years or however long the depression went on for. But as long as the world economy keeps going forward like it is at the moment, I would say 3 to 5 years. But we're long-term investors. We're not in for a short buck. There's no way you could do something and then get out in 2 years' time in front of you, a long way behind them.
So what is the reason for your selecting Visakhapatnam? You spoke of...
Because it's a wonderful port. It can take 50,000 ton deadweight ships at the moment, and there's a port being built to the south that'll take 60,000. And it's got berths, and it's a good all-weather port, and one needs a port is so important, because most of these goods as they're going to be made will probably be exported in one way or another, and if you haven't got a port, you can't export them. It's camel train or by air, and both of which are either expensive or out of date, if you know what I mean. You've got to have a port, because ships can actually transport goods from one country to another in the only economical way.